Sometimes life crashes into us. We could be sitting perfectly still, both hands on the wheel, patiently waiting for traffic light changes, singing a song on the radio from our diaphragm, and bam, life crashes into us. No rhyme or reason, no fault of our own, we find ourselves having to make a decision. Will we rush to pick up all the pieces, or will we pause to assess the damage and ask ourselves what we really need? See, I can recall the many times when life crashed into me, pushing me into circumstances that made it hard to breathe. But that's how I came to realize the most powerful tool we have to not only survive but to thrive is inspiration. Now, inspiration can be defined as something that mentally stimulates us to do something or feel something. It is the sudden burst of a brilliant or creative idea. For the context of this talk, inspiration is the drawing in of breath. And as your inspirationalist, I consider it a critical aspect of my purpose to bring a breath of fresh air into whatever room or relationship I enter. It is my pleasure to offer you a safe space to catch your breath, to observe whatever fears may be obstructing your airway, and to support you as you recover from life's collisions. Now, before I take you on a journey, I'm going to ask you to raise your right hand. Not to swear or make any promises you won't keep. Just place that hand on your chest, left hand on your belly. Feel your heartbeat. Tune into your breath. As you breathe in, you inspire. Oxygen enters, circulates throughout your body. It fuels your muscles and keeps your brain active to think critically and creatively. Keep breathing. When you exhale, you expire. You let go of what no longer serves you. You release the tension. Now, when you're ready, you can let your hands go and keep breathing consciously as we go on a journey together. It was October 5th, 2019, when I discovered the life-saving power of inspiration. My family and I had just finished cleaning and organizing the house. I thought it would be great to just attend this arts event across town. My son opted to stay home with their dad, which was pretty typical. My daughter and I, we hopped in my white Ford Expedition and hit the freeway. Listen, we were cute. The moon was lit, traffic was light, the music was moving, and we were having a great time. I checked the rearview mirror, I checked the side view mirror, and all was clear until I looked ahead and realized that we were quickly approaching the back of a truck, and with no time to stop, we slammed into the back of a semi. Our truck crumbled into me like a wadded up piece of paper. I was trapped, and my daughter in the back seat to my right miraculously suffered little injury. She cried out for help. Just breathe. All I knew to do was breathe. See, I had experienced trauma before. 9 years prior, when my mother was murdered, the grief, the anxiety, depression, heartache, just breathe. I realized that these things propelled me deeper into faith and into prayer. I knew somehow in this moment that the pain would serve a purpose and that somehow by God's grace we would be okay. I felt my face bloodied and swollen from smashing into the steering wheel, my right arm broken, my right hip dislocated. Just breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Keep the body calm. Stay conscious. Reassure my daughter. Thumbs up to the people outside asking, is anyone in there and are they alive? Thank God for the lady praying outside the window. I heard the sirens, the EMT, stretched my arm out for pain relief. Eventually we were rescued from the debris, and my daughter was taken in one direction to one hospital and I was taken in another direction to a different hospital. Tell me, why would anyone separate a mother and her daughter in the midst of a trauma? Breathe. Once I got to the ER, I was asked repeatedly for my signature. Though my primary arm was broken, couldn't they tell I was hurting? Why wasn't that taken into consideration? Breathe. Thank God. I thank God for my pastor, my family, and friends who waited at the ER for me, offering compassion and love as oxygen. See, they gave me what the trauma nurse had none to give. She was overwhelmed, overworked, too many patients. She actually vented to me as I lay broken. Her voice was heavy like her hands, and since she offered more damage than relief, we begged her to leave. Please tell me, why would an institution built for healing and recovery overwork their employees? Breathe. I thank God because over the next few months, I was supported with amazing rehab physicians, physical and occupational therapists, friends and family that wrapped around me, supported me as I journaled and meditated, prayed, as I practiced yoga from my wheelchair to heal my way from brokenness to mobility. My life had taken an abrupt turn in a direction that I had not anticipated. 5 months later, I accepted a position with Urban Strategies. Now, we are a national organization that helps families become stable and thriving. And I'm blessed to serve families on the Near East Side of Columbus in our historical yet under-resourced community. Many of our families are gasping for air. Maybe they're recovering from chronic illness. Maybe it's substance use disorder. Maybe it's grief, anxiety. Maybe they're suffering from childhood adversity like abuse or neglect. But they say over and over, I have no time to breathe, no resources to offer myself self-care. And I hear that same thing from my clients as a transformational coach. As a woman, I have no time to catch my breath. Well, I submit to you that denying ourselves the tools and the time that we need to recover from life's crashes and stressors is like holding our breath and saying we want to live. I believe that in order for us to grow from survival to thriving, we must add inspiration to our resilience. And that's what I do as an inspirationalist. I encourage you to breathe. So even while the world is saying we can't breathe, and we're wearing masks that require us to limit our oxygen and distance ourselves from the life-giving energy that we each have to offer, let's pause. Let's breathe. B-R-E-A-T-H-E. Let's be fully present and aware of how we feel and what sensations we experience in this moment. R, release and let go of the limiting thoughts and beliefs that restrict our healing and recovery. E, embrace your process because it won't be easy and it takes time. In fact, it may even be painful. A, acknowledge your needs. You might need more rest. You might need a change in diet, maybe a shift in your environment or even in your relationships. But T, take action in the direction that aligns with where you want to go. H, help others only when you can and ask for help when you need it. This is how we evolve and transform ourselves into more loving people, in love with ourselves and in love with others. As we go through life, we're going to be caught off guard. We're going to experience stressors, maybe as a mom raising children in a pandemic, maybe as a CEO of a corporation attempting to build a business. Maybe you're a trauma nurse. I want to encourage you to stop and catch your breath. Take time for self-care. Maybe you raise your right hand. Place that right hand on your chest. Maybe you place your left hand on your belly. You inspire, expire. Just breathe. Peace.